Jamelia, you were really shocked by this morning. It's the first thing you talked about when you came.
I was absolutely outraged, to be honest. When I read the story, I'm sick of seeing these sexist judgments. The hard and fast facts are: this babysitter abused her position as a responsible adult. She abused her position and she took advantage of an 11-year-old boy. If this was the other way around, I'm sick of even saying this sentence, if this was the other way around, if she was a man and he was a little girl, it would be completely different. As far as I'm concerned, an adult engaging in sexual behaviour with a child is paedophilia, regardless of gender, and that's how the judgments need to be thought about. There need to be just clear rules. If you do that, you get this. None of this...
So do you think she should have had a jail sentence?
Absolutely, because if she was a man, she would have had one.
The judge said, because the father had said about this boy, oh, he's very mature, he's very sexually kind of aware, and yet they were saying about this girl who was 20 at the time was very immature for her age. And so the judge said that it was the 11-year-old victim's maturity and her immaturity, he said, kind of narrowed the age gap, which is why he was more lenient with the sentence, no?
No, and absolutely. And you know what? The one I'm horrified with the most is the father, actually. I mean, the father, to say that about your 11-year-old son, that means... You know, if he's saying his 11-year-old son is already so sexually aware, what has that child already been exposed to be so sexually aware at 11? And the one that actually said, you know, his father's making out almost like the boy probably enjoyed it, and so is the girl. But actually, when they asked the boy, he didn't at all. And I'm more horrified now. I want to know what they're going to do now about the whole situation with the father and the son, because I think they should look into everything now of what this child is living with.
I think that shocked a lot of people, Janet, hasn't it? And you know, we must remember that the effects of sexual abuse can be lifelong. And so his father, some of the comments his father have made sound like it's a bit of a, well, that's just a boy.
And I know, I think when it comes to the sentence, they can call the sentence in. I mean, we can criticise the judge, but we should understand that judges are male, female, old, young. You know, they've got a wide range of viewpoints. Judges aren't all the same. They've got guidelines that they issue sentences within. And if people feel that this is too lenient, then I'm sure the Director of Public Prosecutions can call the sentence in and review it if it's controversial. But the age of consent is quite interesting. This boy was only 11, but if you look, we're in the EU. If you go look all around the EU, the age of consent varies widely. In fact, 16, which is what it is in Britain, is in the minority overall in Europe.
It's not 11 anywhere, is it?
It's not 11 anywhere.
What's the youngest?
But other countries have such different attitudes. It's 14 in Austria, Germany, Portugal and Italy, and it's 15 in France, the Czech Republic, Denmark and Greece.
But they
so
still can't get away.
Really near to us.
But we're in England.
Kids sexually active, accept it at a much younger age.
Some of the children's charities today are saying, but what message does this send? Currently, under our law, 16 is the age of consent.
Parenting ought to be more strict, and also it says perhaps that babysitters ought to be licensed.
It was a normal night that many of us can relate to. You'd put your daughter to bed, your husband was out, your other daughter was asleep over, ran a bath, and then the landing light flickered and there was a stranger in your landing.